What's up, guys? Another Adonis review. Today I thought we would discuss Jedi Fallen Order, since Jedi Survivor, which is the sequel, came out recently. I thought we could go over both and kind of see what the differences are and if it's still worth playing the original or just jumping into the new one. So first off, the original Jedi Fallen Order game came out, I believe, mid-2021, so it's been about 2 years since it originally came out. It was initially considered a very high-quality graphical game, something that would be great to test out PS5 when it originally came out and such. And the story essentially is based off you, construction worker, or spaceship worker, or something like that. You're some type of grunt worker, essentially gets pulled into space escapades where you almost die, and essentially you find out you're a Jedi and, become basically as strong as Luke Skywalker as you defeat all the side background bad characters that happen to exist around the same time. So pretty standard stuff. The game does work around essentially a multi-world exploration where you have different planets you could go to, and each different planet that you attend is essentially, the size of tiny maps on a normal world, where you get to explore a city or ruins or something like that within it. It is in no way, shape, or form anything like a No Man's Sky or what Starfield might be. So don't consider exploration in these worlds to be a thing if that somehow was a thought in your mind. They are 100% very linear paths. They do have little secrets and, things that you might not see typically, to find little secret areas, to get little specialties and whatnot. But overall, this is essentially a very linear path game. The graphics do look great, and they do hold up today. I think initially when this first came out, there was a lot of glitches that fell in with it. The fact that, it was still coming out on the old consoles as well, and it was such a high-performing game. I think those have been kind of smoothed over a lot recently, so that's a good sign of playing it today. You don't really face those, but even when I originally played it back in the day, the first time, it wasn't really a big problem. So I wouldn't be too concerned regardless about any type of glitches or anything in that scenario happening in the game. I think it's pretty straightforward, pretty well done. When it comes to difficulty, it can be a pretty challenging game. There's majority of the games I play nowadays, even on harder difficulties are sometimes just a fighting gallery with no true difficulty. Maybe sometimes I have to protect myself a little bit more than I typically would. But this game definitely has certain boss battles where, you could get to them pretty much overpowering people along the way, and then get your ass just hand-delivered from Uber Eats directly to your door the second later, where you literally have to fight them 50 times and get every dodge and every mechanic perfect to finally beat them. To where you finally do beat them, it's the most rewarding feeling ever. But you're definitely raged with a time or two where you're like, fuck, I can't deal with this. I'll fight him tomorrow. Like, this is an impossible fight. You have to double ask yourself if maybe you're trying to get to a cutscene or something. There's no way this boss can be that difficult. Like, there's no way that you can technically beat him at this level, because you die when you only hit him a few times. So I always enjoy when the games bring that level of difficulty out, even though it frustrates me at the time. It is nice to face that level of difficulty, so this game definitely brings that. And it has all the Star Wars and lightsaber mechanics that you can enjoy with deflecting and using your force and all that fun stuff that you can slowly level up over time. Like I said, since it is so linear, it's very direct power-ups that you'll get. The skill tree isn't gigantic, but it's a pretty healthy size where you can decide, really what you want to focus on, piece by piece, and you do have to kind of decide carefully if you want to focus on, your force powers or your Jedi powers or your lightsaber powers and so forth. So there is a little bit of variety in keeping that kind of fresh. And the story lays with a pretty good amount of time. I think it was anywhere between 10 to 20 hours, so it's pretty standard nowadays with how long they should be. Not a whole lot of side missions and things of that nature. I mean, it is heavily story, and you kind of get to that. You know, like I said, there are little secrets here and there you can find off the path by a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. You know, this typically would be a real one playthrough type of game, so if you can find it on sale, you know, or for free, I believe they have it on Game Pass for a time, but that might be gone now. But it might be on sale now. That I also know that PlayStation is giving it for free at a certain time too, so it could be on sale in that case. But it's definitely something you'd want to save. You know, maybe like a $15 game at best, just because of the very low playback value of it. But I think it's definitely something you should play before you play the sequel, because it is directly tied to the same main character. Overall, it's a great game. It's definitely worth playing. But like I said, it's just not worth spending too much on, since that playback value is very minimal. So it is still worth it nowadays. If this helps you at all decide if you're going to play it, keep in mind that this is a very story, one-play type of game. So if you're a multiplayer person or first-person shooter type of person, anything like that, and you love Star Wars or something, you know, this might not win you over. I mean, but I think it's pretty clear from the trailers that, you know, what you're getting from it, so I don't think it's like a surprise. So, hope this helps. It is a great game overall, though, so if you were unsure if it just was good or worth it, I think it's a great game. It's just, you know, it's just not also revolutionary, unfortunately. Hope this helps. Later, guys.